2013-188, the State of Arkansas versus Christy Newcomer.
Your Honor, Ms. Newcomer is here on a reappearance, and like Ms. Swans, Mr. Kincaid and I have worked out a plea agreement, so if we can bring her back at 1:30,
All right.
we will be able to take care of her today, I believe, Your Honor.
Duly noted. 2013-310, State of Arkansas versus Jonathan Porter. This is for arraignment on charges of residential burglary, Class B felony, theft of property, Class A misdemeanor, 2 counts.
Your Honor, we'd enter a plea of not guilty, waive formal arraignment, reading of the charges on behalf of Mr. Porter.
Court is setting this matter down for trial May 19th and 20th. Pre-trial will be scheduled for April 3rd, and the reappearance to check on status of discovery will be for March 6th. 2013-309, State of Arkansas versus Nicole Ann Sienko. She's for arraignment on charges of residential burglary, Class B felony, 2 counts, theft of property, Class A misdemeanor, 2 counts, and forgery in the 2nd degree, Class C felony.
Your Honor, to all those charges, I would enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Ms. Sienko and waive formal reading of the charges and arraignment.
I'm scheduling her for reappearance in front of Judge Putman on January 23rd, 2014. Are there any other issues to take up at this time?
Your Honor, I would like to address the issue of bond.
All right.
Your Honor, this defendant is 24 years of age. She has not been incarcerated a huge amount of time, 11 days. This is, as she relates to me, her first time to be in any sort of felony trouble. Her bond is at $20,000. As most people, I've asked her what sort of bond she feels like that she can make, and she has said through her parents, who live here, don't live in Mountain Home, but live in Weiner, Arkansas, that she can probably make a bond of approximately 1/2 of what has been set. She would be residing at Peel's Resort, which is right outside of Mountain Home, between Mountain Home and Norfolk. I don't know this young woman that well, but she does not strike me, Your Honor, as being any sort of risk to the community if she were allowed to bond out on a more reasonable bond.
Which says the state.
Judge, what's her income? How's she going to make a living? She's out on the bond. Does she have a job? That kind of thing.
I was working at microplastics.
I'm sorry?
I was working at microplastics whenever they incarcerated me. I was supposed to go for orientation at micro.
And she relates to me that she had been hired at Microplastics, which I assume is in Flippin, and that she was scheduled to go to orientation. Obviously, this interfered with that. So I doubt that that job is still out there. Her chances of employment, Judge, obviously are a lot greater if she's able to go out and put out some applications than they are sitting in the Baxter County Jail.
Judge, the state is not concerned about the amount of bond so much as that they are with this defendant, as she's co-defendant of the last guy we had here. He has a criminal history, she has none. But we'd like to know that she's got a place to live, she's got income, things like that. Because people who are destitute, who don't have money, who don't have income, sometimes result in alternative means of making a living. She's going to need that. If she got the support of her parents or something like that, you know, the bond is not so important to me. The amount of the bond is not so important to me. Is knowing that she's got some way to care for herself. I don't mind reducing the bond. I'd reduce the bond lower than $10,000, frankly, on this defendant. But only if she's got a place to live and some way to support herself, pay the utility bills, and put food on the table. Does she have any children or anything, Mark?
No,
Okay.
no.
So she just got herself to care for. So I'm more concerned about that than anything else. If that gets resolved, state would agree to reduce the bond to $5,000, frankly, if those other things are met.
That sounds like a fair compromise. Upon this defendant showing that she has a suitable place to reside, satisfactory to the court, and a way to support herself either through a job or through her parents, then I think a $5,000 bond is certainly reasonable.
Bond to be set at $5,000, conditioned upon proof of residence and applications being made for employment. I expect her, as a condition of this bond, to obtain and remain gainfully employed.
Your Honor, would she be allowed to be released on this
Yes.
bond to obtain
As long as she can provide us a current, an address.
All right.
That'll be the order of the court. Her next appearance is in front of Judge Putman on January 23rd.
Thank you, Your Honor.